What up, y'all? It's your boy Anton, along with my stunning co-host, the one that we are missing in action way too often, but she working hard, Miss Taylor Day, aka the 8th day of the week. Of course, we're here with some of the homies, the two we use to fill in the shoes of Miss Taylor Day, and it's hard.
It's hard to fill in them Timberland boots.
It's hard.
Y'all doing great.
She got a different type of Timberland boot on. You know what I'm saying? This is hard to fill them. Real hard.
We got the homie Jamar in here, aka Mbaku's chest plate, so he in a bad place right now. You know what I mean?
Right.
He
in a bad
place. Shattered.
It's not where you want to be at.
Oh man. Then we got Bruce, aka Peanut Butter, aka the not so dark night. You know what I mean?
Peace. What's happening?
Not so dark night.
Hey, it's a little off subject, but a quick shout out, man. Any sports fans, MMA fans, UFC fans. One of my all-time favorite fighters, man, Anthony Rumble Johnson, died today. So salute.
38 years old too, man.
Yes, he was a knockout.
One out for the homie.
Salute and RIP to Anthony Rumble Johnson, man. Peace to everybody. Shalom.
Peace to Anthony.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Takeoff too. We'll do Takeoff too, since that was just, you know what I mean, not too long ago. Rest in peace, Takeoff.
Hurricane
also,
G, whole bunch of them, man.
Kevin Conroy too, the voice of Batman from the Batman animated series too.
Yep,
man,
they've been showing that all weekend. Batman animated series, man. We grew up on that, so yes.
Yeah, man. Mm-hmm. Well, you know, as life goes on, you know what I mean, we're always going to be surrounded by fallen soldiers. Which, you know,
absolutely.
Y'all know what y'all clicked on. We're here to talk about Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Definitely a love letter to brother Chadwick. It's apparent right from the jump. And so just following with that theme, you already know what it is. If you watch the movie, hope you were strong up in here. I hope you were strong up in here. Stronger than Mbaku's chest plate. You know what I mean?
You had to be stronger than that.
I'm just saying.
So much glass jaw.
The Jabari need to embrace technology, man. They need to upgrade to all vibranium, everything. They get handled every turn. They are getting handled. It's not cool.
They was catching hands at every turn.
That's not cool. But all right, so I guess how we're gonna run the show down. Where we're gonna do go around the room and see everybody's general thoughts of the movie in a non-spoilerly way. And then I know it's gonna be tough now, Taylor. We're gonna be all right. It's gonna be hard. But soon after we'll get into spoilers, and then we'll see how the show takes us from there.
All the way in with them spoilers.
Got you. All right, Taylor, I'm gonna let you go first. We've been wanting to hear from you anyways in a non-spoilerly way. What did you think of Black Panther Wakanda Forever?
I enjoyed it. Okay, so I'm gonna be honest. I feel like we all went in very nervous. Yes. But I feel like I went in with more realistic expectations. I went in knowing that we weren't going to get the first film. The first film was the first film, and also we lost Chad. Yeah. So there was no way to do the second one perfectly without him. We weren't going to ever get it. It just wasn't going to happen. So given those circumstances, I feel like they did an excellent job with what they were given. Of course, there were some problems here or there. There were some choices that I'm like, why did y'all do that? But all in all, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Also, at the end, hearing Rihanna come on and sing that song, it made it so much better than hearing it on its own. I liked it, but I know a lot of people were complaining about the song since that was her first song in many a moon since her album. But I loved it, and I loved it especially with the movie. Also, I'm not gonna lie, Namor is my baby daddy. Just let y'all know, I would be in that water like.
So we talking about Miss Taylor Rodriguez over here.
Man, like Mr. Mans had a point. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. We'll talk about it more later. But
You know.
Shout out to Namor. You about to be bagging
Namor.
sisters across the globe, straight up and down.
with them green boys on.
Oh
man, them little youngsters. Yeah. He's had since a teen, since birth almost.
He was so angry. I loved it. Anyway, keep going. We'll come back around to it later.
Jamar, what did you think?
Man, I think I said like in a group chat, man, aesthetically, man, it was so pleasing to the eye. Seeing Wakanda, seeing Namor's domain, all that stuff was just beautiful, man. I mean, and being able to see that in 3D too today, when I went back to see that the second time, it was
I'm gonna have to peep
better.
In 3D. I gotta peep
3D,
bro. It was next level.
I holler at you, Bruce.
It was next level in 3D, man. The one thing I will say, I mean, like Taylor said, it wasn't perfect. I mean, I think we need to get that out the way. It was some things I wish. Some of the trailers was a little too spoily for me. Like some of the things you can easily see coming. You didn't have to be a rocket scientist. I mean, if you followed the MCU, you knew some of that stuff was going to come. I do wish, and this is just a criticism of people who's complaining on social media. I wish people would just get out their red pill bag. I mean, I slightly lean to the red pill side myself, but not when it comes to like entertainment. Like I don't understand why people are so easily offended by every single thing that goes on with this film, man. It's like it's like somebody's out to get you. Like we got to stop that. Like just as people, period. I just had to throw that disclaimer out there because it takes away from the process of honoring Chadwick. And people was even trying to take that as a slight. I'm like, come on, man. This man was honored all throughout the film. This is like this is the world's way of handling that grief and seeing it on the big screen, man. So salute to Coogler for that. I know it was tough writing it. I've seen a bunch of Coogler interviews of the way he explained it. It was hard it was even hard for him, having to go back and rewrite certain things to try to explain what happened and, But anyhow, man, I thoroughly enjoyed the movie. Definitely happy I went to go see it twice. For the haters, hey, keep hating, but Wakanda forever, my G.
Well, they already said they've made 344 or 350 million already.
I think it's 340 worldwide so far, which is crazy.
It's gonna put up Infinity War numbers.
Oh yeah,
it's definitely gonna be close.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if it'll go that high, but it'll be close. Bruce, what did you think?
The first one was already there. Pretty much almost like Jamar said. I mean, I'm about to use words that I rarely use. And it was beautiful. I'm not that guy that says words like I don't say beautiful and
it's elegant.
I definitely don't use words like that. I got the vocab for it, but it's just not really in my vocab.
It's not your
but I mean, them colors, the scenery.
It was gorgeous.
The way that they to show how different both tribes were. They was so much of the same. It was just cool, man. The color, the looks, the heartfelt energy behind it. You know what I mean? That was dope. The tribal, the family aspect of it was so dope. How both tribes kept mentioning their ancestors. They kept letting you know to remember who you came from, where you came from. That was serious. You know what I'm saying? It was serious. By far to me was the best. It was the best MCU movie in this phase by far.
Oh, easily.
Yeah, so runner up would be that Shang-Chi, but this was by far the best.
Yeah, I don't want to say easily because Shang-Chi is right there too. Shang-Chi definitely right there. It was the this one had some extra oomph behind it.
Yeah.
This one has some extra behind it.
It was a great way to close it out.
It really was.
To close out this phase.
Beautiful way to close it out.
Yeah, indeed, man. I pretty much echo the sentiments of everything you guys said. When it comes down to it, you have to take into account everything that went into this movie, from the loss of Chadwick to setbacks and COVID, and then Letitia getting hurt and all this stuff, and then you come out with a movie like this with all that against you, and not even that you lost a co-star or whatnot, but like that's Coogler's man, like that's his homie. That's it, like that really the whole cast. That's their man. Like they look up to this dude. If they needed advice, that's the guy.
And he said many times too, he didn't even know he was sick. So just think how that hit him. How that hit him. Bro, you know what I'm saying?
You know, like they had the whole. He had already had the whole script written.
Exactly. Exactly.
Chadwick
so it's like have to go back too. Did he refuse to read it?
He refused to read it too. Yeah.
Oh,
which is crazy. Yeah.
And to have to go back and redo all that, like,
right.
I salute him, because most people would fail. I mean, this would be an utter failure for most franchises to have to go back and read the full script.
It should not have won at all. And I mean, it's definitely not perfect, like you guys said. It might have ranged a little, probably 10, 15 minutes too long as far as just the length of the movie. But at the same time, we always say, "Hey, I want to just see Wakanda." Well, they gave you that. You know what I mean? They gave you extra time in Wakanda because this might not come back around for a little while. You know what I'm saying? So I won't complain. And if anybody has watched this and you're watching this now, if you watch it the second time, it's much better. Yeah. The first time I watched it, I went in with all that anxiety, all that nervousness, and it stuck with me the entire movie. I was so nervous throughout that movie. I didn't know who was going to die. I didn't know what they were going to do with Chad. I didn't, you know what I mean? First of all, we all know that Wakandans died in the MCU. How many movies has the Wakandans been in? And think about all the bodies that is dropped in Wakanda. So nobody is off limits when it comes to Wakanda.
Okay, we are like tiptoeing that line of spoiler
we close.
talk
We close. But I'll just finish off with Namor. Namor is the truth. His villainous look. When he first showed up, it almost felt like a scary movie, didn't it?
Yeah.
Like it felt like a scary movie. And we'll get into spoilers here shortly, but it almost felt like a scary movie. Like the music changed on you.
Man.
So it was
the moon shot of him.
It was
all of them coming up out the water, like silently and singing that song. I was like,
man. It was graceful. That song was graceful. It sounded like something out of Lord of the Rings. That song.
It was like that siren call. Anyway, I'm not going to get into it because the more I talk,
I mean,
we're towing that line.
We're about to switch over now. We're about to switch over. I got you. Hey y'all. If you are watching, folks, you know who you are. If you're watching, this is the time for you to leave until you have seen the movie and come back
stage left
at a later date, please.
Because I'm about to pour this Bro Brothers again in here. You got to get to
it. Indeed.
If you stay around, don't get mad at us.
Facts. The label is about to come up. I'm going in 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Spoiler talk is now.
Shout out to Namor with the Spanish.
Mayan, not even Spanish. That's the colonizer language. They were speaking in Mayan.
My bad. That's colonizer talk. That's colonizer talk.
That's not colonizer.
We got to do this and this now, don't we? Got to do both of them now, don't we? Man. All right, so since we in spoiler talk, when Namor came out the water and the sirens was going off and folks was just walking themselves to
just dropping.
I was like, this dude, he is. This is the craziest stuff I've seen. I did not expect that one bit. I'm like,
nah,
there are really sirens in here? Like, it was terrifying to me. I'm not gonna lie. Like that's
definitely terrifying. And as quickly as Shorty got out of Dodge and that chopper, when she started seeing cats walk off that ledge on that ship, she was like, "It's time."
She's like, "We got to go."
Throw the two up. She pulled the strap out. She pulled the strap out in midair, like bucking, like, "Hey, I got to get home." Like that's a
and when they
problem.
like when they all got hit and they were like, we're still here.
Yeah, we still good.
And when they noticed it wasn't Wakandans, they said, "Oh, these ain't Wakandans out here. These are blue people."
These blue people. That's the cast from the Thriller video.
with a breather on, with a breather right.
But straight up though, like watching this movie and seeing the underwater world, I was like, where's James Cameron? Because we just saw the trailer for Avatar 2.
For Avatar, and it almost looked better.
It
almost
sure did. It sure did.
To me, it didn't quite look as kiddie, so that's why I like it.
Yeah, absolutely.
What I thought was dope with the singing was that's the real origin or lore of mermaids. You know what I mean? Not the happy-go-lucky stuff. Like the real origin of mermaids, they would sing and lure the weak men and drag them off and drown them. So to me, I was watching that like, yo, like it was just that much doper to me. Like I'm telling Tasha, like, yo, that's the real origin of mermaids, not this old happy-go-lucky smile in your face. We will lure you in here into the dark, and then there's no coming back.
Drown you.
So to me, that made it that
jellyfish
much doper, like,
and every other sea creature.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's a wrap from there. That's why I don't fool with water. That's the only thing about the movie I really didn't like. I don't like it. Was, like it was pretty, but it was like this is just too much damn water. Like, man, it was holding my breath, having PTSD attack.
Nino seen no more.
Boy, without
the child without love. All right, so since we're in spoiler talk, how do you guys feel about how they dealt with Chadwick's death? That was the first thing they hit us with. Like, I shouldn't say the first thing, but first thing when the actual movie kicks off, we have Letitia, aka Shuri, in the lab in a panic, trying to resequence the heart-shaped herb. Do y'all think that was a good decision how they handled that?
I think it was a good decision specifically because it really talked so much about how to handle grievance. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like utilizing like the white, not having it so dark to kind of help people, like to guide folks through that grievance, period. Because a lot of people don't handle death well at all. And I felt like this was a story of how to handle grievance and how to move past and how to look at the legacies that kind of come from it. And I actually liked it because at first I was like, where y'all going with this? But as the movie went on, and especially when I seen it the second time, I really understood what Coogler was going for. And then going back, listen to his interviews where he was talking about how he had to write it to where he can handle the grievance from losing his homie. You know what I'm saying? So I salute how they did that. I truly do. And then seeing the queen when she threw her garment in the fire to try to cheat Siri. I mean, because she had so much hate in her heart, which is, I know when we get to the whole Killmonger spoilers, we'll talk about that. But she had to evolve to find that peace again within her soul. So I love the way they did that.
Yeah,
it was the trajectory for me that did it. At first, like I said, I didn't understand it, but once we got kind of towards the end, I said, okay. And when she seen the queen in the ancestral plane, I said, okay, I'm with you now. I'm rocking with you. Go ahead, Taylor. I know you about to drop some gems on it.
Oh no, I don't really have like gems. I was just thinking like initially, part of me liked how they kept it as an illness because we lost Chad to a real illness. So it was like directly talking about T'Challa, but also talking to us directly about losing Chad himself. But then part of me was like, okay, if she's trying to make the herb, like he's already technically the herb was in his body. So why would he be susceptible to this illness? But I guess this is very small. And again, it doesn't matter. It's very small. It's not like it was needed. But I think to explain that a little bit more, it would have been better if they mentioned it was from him coming back from the snap, because we know that the snap, everyone coming back from the snap, like things are different. Not everything came back as it was, and there are like things that are being affected by that happening. And I wish that it was kind of explained that like it was because of that, just to give us a little bit more reason. But at the same time, because we already know we lost him, we already know like these are the circumstances. It's like it didn't actually need to be further explained. But yeah, because this whole phase has been dealing with grief, I thought it was a perfect capstone. And it was very powerful how they dealt with it in all throughout the movie. And I love how Letitia was kind of coming into her Malcolm X era. I think again because because Chad was so specific and so monumental and so like they said in the movie, noble and all these things. He was like the MLK figure. Like he did everything. King. Yeah, he did everything perfectly. And so when you lose someone who's basically perfect, like you know, it's like that's not right, and it can leave you with a lot of anger. Like he was actually one of the good ones. Why did we have to lose them? And so it's like, yeah, you have like this anger that like rise up that you have to deal with. And I just thought that they did it beautifully, especially with Letitia's character, because it was her brother, and like, and I just loved how it tied back to the first film, because again, like they said, she wasn't the one about tradition. She was the one that wanted all these things, and now she's thrust in this position because her brother, who was supposed to be the king, who was trained and who was worthy of doing it, is gone. I don't know. It was just I thought they did. It was beautiful choices.
You said that beautifully, though. I mean, you said the perfect thing. It was like the Malcolm X road, because she Namor, who was obviously like a Elijah Muhammad. Then Killmonger showed up when she swallowed the herb juice. Yep. Another Elijah Muhammad type. Yeah. So they're leading her down a completely different path. You know what I'm saying? Of what was in her heart at the time, which was to burn it all down. You know what I'm saying?
When Namor said that, when Namor said, "I heard you say you wanted to burn it down," like,
he was like, "Oh, we talking the same language, shorty."
He on that left shoulder.
I hear you.
Right. Right, that's what I'm about. You know, I don't have no love for the surface world.
I heard, hey, girl, I heard what you said. I got matches.
I got the propane.
I got everything you need.
Right.
Let's do it.
I even got an underwater sun.
Let's do it.
That even happened. I still didn't get that, but
yeah, I mean, I thought they set up her character arc beautifully, and this is where I give Coogler all the credit in the world, because this was all changed. This was not original character art. So he had to change that on the fly, man. And that was just a dope way to do it. And he also mentioned that out of respect to Chad and his family, they didn't want to go too deep until like the whole illness factor of it. So that's why they kind of left it super vague. Again, but I get what you're saying too. For me, I kind of wanted a little bit more, but I get it overall big picture to not to, raise those old wounds for his family out of respect.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, it was handled in a fashion where everybody was in the know. Like we all know what happened to Chad. We know what they were dealing with the movie as far as T'Challa's character also. So we didn't have to go too deep into the explanation. We're MCU fans, so we want so many details of everything,
every Easter egg.
Every Easter egg. But even at the same time, like we tear down Disney Plus shows because they're almost too much. Like, do we need to know how much or why the Avengers get paid or don't get paid? Like, it sound dope before we got it.
It's so random, though.
I mean, it's like, did we really need to know that? We just need to know if you're gonna save the day and do all this. So it's like they gave us the right enough information and the perfect scene. Letitia Wright, her acting job in this movie was ridiculous. The range of motion, the range of how do you say it? Expression from anger to happiness to sadness to being funny. Like she did the entire spectrum in one movie, and she had to hold the movie on her shoulders. Even though I would give, like Tarian Rain said, Angela and Letitia.
Angela did her thing.
Man,
the queen killed it.
And that leads us into my next point. Did they have to with the queen? Did they have to do it? Did they have to do it? Was it necessary?
I think it was necessary to a certain degree, because I feel like they had to. To me, it was part of Shuri's art, though. Like, she needed to see that, like, to see her mom sacrifice herself to save another soul and not have that revenge in her blood which is what Shuri was going down that path, which would have led to the whole her and Namor just bodying everybody on the surface world.
I dig it. I just feel like she's experienced, like that's like telling Thor that he don't have enough to grieve about before, like they even tore down Asgard. He had lost everybody before Asgard blew up. Like, I know they're superhuman, but internally they're still human. So you don't need to add on an extra every time just to get a little extra spark.
I feel that.
Like, she was already down there. She watched her brother die and she couldn't fix it. So she's already hot. She's on fire right now. She don't need her mom to die. But she went to Talocan too. So
her brother dying wasn't enough. She needed that. She needed that extra layer. You know
I think it's like
she had enough. She said she wanted to burn it down before her mama died. So she didn't need her mama to die.
But I mean, like, think about like when, I maybe y'all already said this. I'll check that.
I feel what you're saying. I mean, she didn't have to, but I felt like it was a good thing to do just to kind of set the stage for. We'll talk about it later too. But go ahead.
I think she was already cracked and was like holding it together, and her mom dying was what shattered her. And it was like almost a no return, and that's really what took her to like Killmonger's lair, pretty much. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
I mean, I get it. I just feel like she'd be already shattered enough, man.
I know, but like, think about it.
I think Nakia brought her back though. To the center.
But like, think about how like diplomatic she was trying to be before, and then especially when her mom died, it was like, oh hell no! And she ripped off that nigga's wing, like.
Yeah,
that's kind of where I'm at, Torian, man. I mean,
I get it.
I think it just kind of had to happen in order for her just to kind of get back to a place to where she kind of understands. Like, it takes, because really she was heir to the throne. In her state, she was not going to be able to leave Wakanda. Like that was not going to happen. Not going to happen at all. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like they had to open the door. You know what I'm saying? For you know, for somebody who's worthy of that throne, and Shuri's not worthy of that throne, man. She's not. So, but
I mean, she needed worthy of it.
I just don't. She needed the herb juice, though. She did need the herb juice to kind of see her true potential too. But you know,
I mean, I get it. I know Namor. What'd he say? He said the most broken leaders. Most broken people are fit to be leaders. I mean, she had to be most broken. So I mean, if that
she was broke, cuz
she had to be the most broken. Period.
They broke everybody up in this movie. Like,
for real. I'm gonna say this real quick. I need them to stop killing so many Wakandans, though. Black Panther died how many times? Like literally, how many times? He died 3 times, 3 to 4 times. Yeah, 3 times. Yeah, I don't need no more. We'll get to
Junior. Also the fact that there was only like 5 of them left on the ship at the end. Like,
I think too, though, man, everybody don't have that Dora Milaje battle.
Hey, we lucky they didn't die. We lucky they didn't die before the beginning of the joint. You know what I mean?
Right.
This is Hollywood. They trying to murk us off the gate. You know what I mean?
I need Coogler to be.
If you want to put your kufi on, that probably is the time to put it on. I know all the Wakandas dying.
And for real though, it's been nothing but death when it comes to Wakanda being on screen. The final battle in
it's true.
Infinity War. Like, so many Wakandans lost their life out of nowhere too. Cap give them the call, boom. Now they on the battlefield, and all of us are dying. Wanda, she killed seriously. Wanda killed all those Wakandan students. When she first did her mistake, when she saved Cap, blew up the building, those were Wakandans that died there.
Those were, are you talking about in
Civil War? In Civil War.
Those were Wakandans. I thought those were just Nigerians in Nigeria.
No, they said that was Wakandans. Those were Wakandan outreach students. Those were Wakandans. You know what I mean? And then Black Panther dies in his own movie and comes back. Shout out to him coming back.
Dead,
and then he dies in the beginning of this. Like, it's just so much.
They was almost too nice, because then they gave the White Wolf his arm back, even though Cap's people body.
That's really how we are as a people, though. I mean, that's
people body.
That's one of our weaknesses as a people, though. Like, yeah, you did us wrong, but here's some soup. You know what I mean? Here's a jacket, you're cold.
Here's a full meal.
He said, "Here's some soup."
Smorgasbord
but it really
chicken and
like,
everything else.
Yeah, you did us wrong. Here's a jab. Here's another jab. You know what I mean? That's what it should be.
That's what
Chuck
Killmonger was on. That's
Call
why a
Chuck
lot of
B
people
the-
feel like
yeah,
Killmonger was right.
Hell fact. But yeah, that's one of my things. I hope the next iteration of Black Panther and the royal family, you know what I mean? I hope it's a strong structural situation. If we get our next T'Challa, you know, as we seen in the end of the movie,
he was so cute.
Hold on. Before I'm gonna let you go there, but I'm gonna keep it 100 and 100 funky with you. I thought the exact same thing. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, man, look at this little dude with the little dimples over here trying to get this little jab. I was like, bro, he about to kill these.
It would be one thing to have a dimple.
He's about to body and Baku. That's the way I looked at him.
Oh my God.
I said, he about to snatch that throne as soon as he gets 5'7".
Like, let the children leave. Let the children leave.
Dimples and all. He's taking that throne from M'Baku. It's like Shuri set up M'Baku to get bodied. Like, yeah, I'll let you go ahead. Sit. You can sit here for about 10 years.
That's gonna be funny though.
Then when Neff pull up,
he's gonna roll up with like a little pebble and hit him like they hit Goliath.
David and Goliath.
Yes.
He gonna pull up like Killmonger did.
Straight up.
Oh man. Let's see. What else? M'Baku, do you think he didn't get used enough in this movie?
I thought he was used excellently.
Do you?
He wasn't a force. He wasn't quite the muscle I was expecting.
Exactly, Bruce. I agree with that.
He had some powerful. His speech was more rugged than what he did physically to me.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. He was a lot of talk.
But I think they did him kind of how they doing Hulk, because he's big, he's burly. Mm-hmm. Hey, he get tossed around to let you see how hard, how strong they are. You know what I mean? When he did beat the one cat, threw him in the water and banged his chest, that scene was dope. But then like right after that, he got Steven Seagal. You know what I mean? It was you know what I mean? His speech was hard though. I mean, what he was saying was motivating. We really never seen M'Baku from that position, but I wanted to see both. Yeah. You know what I mean? I wanted to see people get hands, and I mean, that's the life I try to live. I try to drop a jewel, but then I will dislocate something if I need to dislocate.
I mean, but he was.
That's why I feel
he was. He tried to be, you know. I like the balance that they did with his character.
Dislocate him.
But see, man, the thing, I mean, the Jabari crew is like 6'6", 260. To me, if you 6'6", 260, like you outside linebacker size, you need to be bodying cats, bro. You can't be getting handled. They was getting handled too easily.
There's a bunch of Reggie Whites.
That's what I'm saying. Like you getting handled by way too gracefully too. I mean, it's like just like the backhand. Like you getting hit by the backhand. Yeah. The black hand side of the hand.
Like the black hand side.
Bunch of gentle giants.
It wasn't even like an open palm that you got bodied by. You got bodied by the black hand side.
I think we need to acknowledge what you guys are actually feeling in this scenario. And it's the fact that the movie was very like dependent upon the female power, and there weren't a lot of male representation from the Wakandans.
No, I'm not going there.
And so I feel like you guys are
I'm not going there.
I think they did that well. I think they did that well because
that's fine. I don't have like I just like to see M'Baku do his thing more. Like I don't mind like the Dora Milaje. We know the Dora Milaje got hands. Like we know what they working with.
They're the best. They're the best.
They're the most skilled.
Yeah.
But I at least want to see the Jabari at least compete. At least be competitive.
I hear you with the other Jabari, but I really like what they did with M'Baku's character because before he was mainly just jokes and muscle, and now his character felt a lot more grounded. Like I'm going to give you like real. Like before in the first movie he wouldn't even listen to Shuri, and now he's like actually seeing her and giving good. That. You know, I don't know.
I mean, if you peeped it, he got gray in his beard now. He's got a little more wisdom.
Yeah, he's older.
You know what I'm saying? So, but like I said when we was leaving, a lot of the movies I see nowadays, you could tell that girl power thing is forced. It did, you know what I mean? So this didn't come off that way. The women was handling their business, but it didn't come off of girl power, you know what I mean? Like a lot of movies, they do that. You know what I mean? I thought it was what's up. I just thought his camp was but definitely with the Black Panther no longer there. If our group is the coalition, if Anton decided he was going to move to Montana and not do it no more, that means I got to step up. That means everybody there has to step up some. You know what I mean? And to me, it was like, yeah, you're coaching. You're definitely getting your Phil Jackson on, but they're here physically trying to take our queen. They killed our queen. They destroying our city. But you know what I mean? I don't write the stuff. You know what I mean? Like, salute to the director for that, because like Jamar kept saying to rewrite and all that. Like, me as a writer myself, I mean, I don't get those type of checks, but I write. That's it. I'm not rewriting. That's
no, fact.
You got no editing going on.
I'm stubborn with mine. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, no,
I
that's
mean,
it. You know.
And to your point, Bruce, I think it's plainly obvious that the Jabari was not going to be able to handle Namor and his squad. But I just wanted to see them be competitive. That's all I wanted to see. Like, I don't mind them getting bodied at all. Like, at least put up some type of. Don't get your chest plate cracked off the first jab.
But at least he didn't die, though. He
didn't die. Thank God.
He didn't die.
We couldn't lose another one.
But to your point, though, his jewels and the gems he was dropping on Shuri, I think that helped her too.
Right.
So M'Baku was part of that healing process. So I definitely agree with that. Like, his character by himself wasn't bad at all.
Right. He did he was ready though when he saw him. When he was on
he pulled up.
Like what he said, like, the fishman.
Goon style. Yeah.
You know, then he just got rocked.
He pulled up and then he was right. We read up here in the mountains.
I love it.
He had nothing for Namor. He had nothing.
That was some female games.
Zero.
When
but nobody did.
Bow around him, when he broke his bow over him, he was just like, oh man,
that look. And to keep it 1,000.
Then he was looking shook, like he might be strong as the Hulk.
Right.
You would have been dead if you would have took that punch from the Hulk. Then you know what I mean. Even the soft, in tune with his feelings Hulk would have broke everything. You know what I mean. But when I say that, I'm not. You know, Namor was hard. I'm not saying that. You know what I mean. But I don't know, man. I mean, like I said, I wish we could have saw M'Baku in the suit, or I didn't. I feel like they left us hanging with that. I like him popping out. Shuri sent me here for that, and I'm here to challenge. Did anybody step up? Leave a footnote for us? You know what I'm saying? It didn't end it with T'Challa's son. Like, to me, that you left so much up in the air to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So where do we go? Because I mean, the future. That kid was maybe 8. You know what I mean? But then
I think that's exactly what they said. He was like 7, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, and then in M'Baku, I mean, he's not an old man, but so I mean, you would still look at him as the future of for the next however long. You know what I mean? Does that, to me, it adds a little more confusion than problem solving, unless we're just thinking for the now, and you know what I mean. So I don't know, that left it kind of like, okay, so what does that mean for M'Baku? If you got this, but you know what I mean,
he's not about to be Black Panther.
Don't tag me in.
Don't
tag me in. Don't tag me in. Tag me in for a 2-day run. You know what I mean? Like, no, I don't know, man. Maybe I take it too serious.
I don't know. He might be a good king. I know him addressing the UN is going to be hilarious if he has to, because it's going to be a classic material.
That man coaching now. He gonna drop so much Dr. Phil Jackson.
Right.
He gonna have a carrot. He's so
nonchalant. A carrot.
That George, that Popovich talking to them.
Right.
Like,
facts.
Man. But no, I like I said, I do like M'Baku. I just want him. He's a goon. Like, he's a big goon, and he didn't do no goonish stuff. So
yeah, I need to see more goony work.
But Jabari, y'all need vibranium. Y'all got to get off that old stuff. Y'all need some vibranium to compete now. I hope y'all know that. Let's go to another thing.
Like when Shuri said, "You brought a spear in here."
That was good. That's where I was going next. Riri Williams. How did y'all feel about her appearance in this movie? And But particularly, do y'all like the final suit that she had? Because I'll tell y'all right now, I didn't.
I didn't. I wouldn't fill in the suit either. Go ahead, Bruce. I'll let you kick it off.
I like that her. I remember when the first movie they was talking about how Killmonger was more relatable. You know what I mean? Because he was from the U.S. like us. His style of dress was more like what we was used to. When I say this, I'm not meaning the attitude. I thought that was her for that part of this movie. She talked like we talk.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Her slang, her steez, her swag was totally us. You know what I mean? Every time they popped up and did something that she wasn't used to, she was calling, hey, what's this? What's that? Hey, you just don't touch my stuff like that. You know what I mean? The suit I thought the suit was all right. It was kind of bulky, but you know what I mean?
Way too bulky.
It was on the fly though. You know what I mean? So I like the character. You know what I mean? I like how they showed, melanated characters with that much intelligence, and it was a bunch of us. You know what I'm saying? It's
melanated.
rare that you see.
Facts.
I mean, it's rare that you see they put us in them. It'd be one of us. And then the rest of us be drug addicts, no teeth. You know what I mean? It was like, man, there's so much.
We usually the person who's helping somebody else.
Or we the muscle. It was like so much intelligence that was us that was shown, and that I thought was dope. You know what I mean? And it was cool seeing that, like, because my daughter was there watching it with me. So my daughter is seeing people. My daughter is seeing people that look like her, same sex as her, and it's not they shining off of they got a big butt or nothing. They smart, they intelligent, they speaking well. So I thought that was cool. I liked her. I'm interested in the show. I'm interested on where this goes after the show. You know what I mean? It was dope that, you know what I mean, them level of characters saw her for what she brought to the table and was like, yo, we need to protect you and you need to come with us. I mean, hell, the queen sacrificed it all for her. So that lets you know how important she is. You know what I mean? So
I loved Riri. Riri was dope. I liked everything but that final suit. That's the only thing.
That's it.
And it really wasn't. It wasn't.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The suit is going to be different. I've already seen. We already seen that. It was all authentic. It was authentic. We've seen the suit from the show. In a screenshot or two, so it looks different. But I loved Riri. She was clownish.
Iced tea braids.
She had jokes that we had. How you
get the bookums?
We should say you was conscious enough to come outside with your head looking like that. She's like,
they did not keep their foot off of Okoye's neck this movie.
Oh, they killed her.
If anything, if out of anyone's treatment in this movie, I felt Okoye was disrespected the most.
And it's funny because Okoye is the one who's the biggest problem. That's why I'm like, oh man, y'all gonna keep disrespecting Okoye like she just won't whoop everybody.
Like she's nobody.
Like she won't body everybody here
her fight
instantly.
Scene on the bridge.
Yeah. It was the best fight. It was the best fight.
It was absolutely the best fight. The fighting in general, I feel like in this movie was lacking a little bit, but I get it. I understand they had some issues and some problems, and we had a whole lot of other things to address. But yeah, Okoye's fight with stop it.
Coogler said that scene. Coogler said they had to reshoot that one the most. He said that was the one that the bridge scene that they had to like do like over and over and over and over again. Like it was so much action there from that. But I mean, plus Okoye, she held her own against Dude. I mean, Dude was a beast.
She killed 3 of them, but they came back. It was the 3 of them.
Right. Yep. Facts. I agree.
She bodied 3 of them quick.
Hey,
she was doing that.
Let's give a shout out to how the Talokans arrived on that bridge, though.
Man,
the whales jumped out. And they jumped off
in DC though, fam.
Everything
in DC. They pulled up in DC on a whale, bro.
They did. They had the killer whales, them humpback whales.
That's next level.
They actually outshine Wakanda to me, man.
On flexing, like how they flex off for sure. I mean, they in general, like he said, I have my army. What did he say? What did he say? My army is big enough for every blade of grass in Wakanda or something like that. Dang.
And that's how I was like.
That's how they was going to attack the surface world because they
take Namor's personality, man. This Namor just like Coach Phil Jackson them. That's Namor coaching his people. Like, look, Anybody pulls up in here, if anybody looks like a slight threat, you body that person on sight.
It was beautiful. It was anyway.
They had a bunch of Junior Seau's, David Tua looking brothers on A Squad, boy.
Yeah, facts though.
Ready.
Facts. Tumu, yeah. He
was
what I wanted M'Baku to be. Tumu was what I wanted M'Baku to
be.
Dude,
Tumu, he was ready. He was ready for anybody, for any action.
He threw her spear back, like, here, you're gonna need this.
Because he wanted, he's like, look, you gonna learn.
I want it fair, but I want it fair though. Like,
you gonna learn, Baldy. I'm gonna whoop your ass, but you gonna learn.
What do you say? What do you say something about your ancestors? He was like, he said you speak of the mom. What do you say? You speak of the mom. Remember that something like say that to when I seen you to your ancestors or something.
It was awful.
He said so. It was disrespectful.
It was disrespectful.
Like it was almost like talk that same way when you in the afterlife type stuff. Oh man.
Oh
yeah. I'm trying to think what else happens in this movie that we can really speak on like that. I'm trying to think.
I wanted to. I don't know what am I about to say. Real quick, I was just really sad that they were fighting so much because both of their worlds are so rich and so beautiful, and I wanted to see more of both of them. So especially when they were on that ship and they were bodying all the Wakandans, I was like, I don't. And then also, especially at that point, I'm like, how are y'all going to do this? Because you can't like Wakanda has to win, but at the same time, I don't want these people to be destroyed because they're too fantastic. Like I don't know. Anyway, what were you going to say? Because I have something also to say.
Well, just on your point, I kind of knew how it was going to end on that tip. You know, like I said, Namor has to survive.
Yeah,
he has to.
And Shuri will not die because so many other Wakandans have died already. So it was just going to be a peaceful truce. And the comics predicted that for the most part. Yeah. They're at odds, but at the same time, they
need each other right now.
They need each other at some point. So, that's how I felt about that. What I was about to say is, I wish I had a picture, but the outfits that the Dora walked in with in the UN. Those outfits,
so fire.
Those were the most fire outfits I've seen on screen ever.
Yeah,
like, I saw those. I was like, "Oh man, y'all!" My wife is looking. My wife is looking right now at me like, "Boy, you better close your eyes when that comes."
Right,
man. Right. And Lupita, that's who we haven't talked about. Lupita.
Listen,
every scene. Oh my god!
Say it because I'm a woman.
I didn't know she had cakes like that. Though, for real.
Was the entire movie. I was like, God, where'd you get all this?
I didn't know her cakes was that supreme though. No one told me her cakes was that supreme. Did I just not realize that the last movie? I must have just not realized.
Yeah,
she was wearing her suit like nobody's business, like no other was wearing the suit.
Right, big facts. But no, Lupita, everybody, all of them though, all of them was looking good. Was crazy. NECA, she looks like she could bench press 300 pounds. Even though she was skinny, but just her posture, she was like this, like
Michaela Cole.
She looked like she was about to say something. Say something.
Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That's why I say you see a shorty with a smooth ball dome pull up like I'm wait, hold on.
I want to
get this high duking. This high duking.
A special or a series on Okoye and the Dora. I need that.
Facts.
All right. I'm trying to think.
I mean, Okoye pulled a spirit out on her husband. Like we already know she about that life.
Yeah.
She about that life.
She
put
her on my team. We going to war.
She pulled a spirit on her husband. Like that's next level.
She would damn near be a first round pick with the characters that's been introduced that I want to go to war with. You know what I mean? On my side.
She said, "My loyalty is to the throne. You can get this spirit."
But she got barked on too, though, for that. She did get barked on for that. Rightfully so. She did get barked on for that. I'm glad they didn't let that go because she was sitting up there with Killmonger talking about this. I swore to uphold the throne or whatnot, but it got to be some more nuance into that. You know what I mean? Yeah. She already knew this man was evil. She was so happy T'Challa showed back up for that. But what else? Man, I wish we could just play the movie and just talk about it as we go because it's so long. Go ahead. Okay, Miss.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Go ahead. Okay. Yeah. Appreciate it.
Remember, this is for you specifically, Anton. Remember a couple months back.
Oh, hold on. Like, I know exactly what you're about to say. Go ahead.
I know.
Yeah,
exactly.
I know. I talked to your mom about that today. I said, she pulled out something. And she put me on, and I was like, oh, as soon as I seen it in the movie.
I did it. I just said, I think I know a spoiler, and I'm not going to say anything. We'll see in November. That's what I said. Pull up the receipt.
Point.
As soon as I saw her, I was like, I knew it. And the rest of y'all who don't know, we're talking about Val that showed up in the movie.
Yeah.
So a couple months back, when I was working on a film this summer, the star of that film was Julia Louis-Dreyfus, and I had spoken with her assistant, and this is what they said to me, and I said, and I didn't tell any of them I was a Marvel fan, so this is a secret between all of us. But I was talking to the assistant, and we were talking, and she was like, "Oh yeah, da da da," and we met Ryan Coogler, and he is so wonderful and fantastic and so nice, and I was like,
What you mean you met Coogler?
You met Coogler?
Yeah.
That's funny that you met Coogler.
Right.
So anyway.
Yeah. I held on to that for a long time too.
Wait, how did you know? Because I didn't tell you.
You told me, what you told me was that you think that she's going to appear in a movie by the end of this year. That's what you told me. You never said what exact movie it was. We both tried to deduce what it was.
Yeah. And honestly, I thought it was going to be a post-credit scene. I'll be honest. Okay. I thought it was going to be a post-credit scene. I didn't know she was going to be on the whole movie. And also CIA. Married to what's his face.
She's head of the CIA. She's in the movie. Like,
yeah.
Facts. So,
she got a huge role moving
I thought
forward.
Of you the moment I saw her face. I was on it like, oh, this is what she was talking about.
I didn't know for certain.
You didn't say that. Of course.
I didn't know for certain. I just said they said they met Ryan, and I said
it's funny because I wasn't as shocked as seeing Val, but more so shocked that she's the head of the CIA though. That's what shocked me completely.
And her being married to what's his face.
Yeah, I was like, well, that too, and being married to young Ross.
Yeah, facts.
To the other Ross.
Crazy. I wonder what she got going on.
Colonizer, the favorite colonizer.
Yeah, the favorite colonizer.
The favorite colonizer.
Mm-hmm.
You know she's going to be ahead of the Thunderbolts and all that. Do you think Wakanda will play a part in the Thunderbolts now that she's?
Of course.
Or
they
will
want
Namor
she
show
wants
up
vibranium,
or something of that nature.
So does this mean that they're going to try to get Okoye since she's not a part of the Dora Milaje anymore?
I don't think that's going. I don't think it's going to go down.
She wouldn't go for it. She wouldn't go for it.
She wouldn't go for it because she's not going to rob from her own country. Like
that's true.
It's not like she's been banished from Wakanda. She's not.
Wakanda needs her even more now. Shuri needs her even more now. She's not going.
Very true.
Will Bucky switch sides on them though? That's the question.
Bucky's gonna be a part.
I don't even think Bucky gonna really switch sides. I mean, I think he's gonna be a Thunderbolt, but I don't think Bucky would never steal from Wakanda. I think we know that for sure.
He better not. That's my man. I like Bucky. I'll cross him off my list.
You know, Shuri can hit the bead. She can hit the bead on the wrist and shut that arm down.
That little fly.
Right. Shut that arm down.
Oh man.
Mid right hook, that arm just be on the ground.
Right.
Okay. Oh, yeah. So Okoye is a Midnight Angel now. What did you guys think about those suits? The Midnight Angel suits. I thought they were weird.
A little weird. I would have preferred them not have the helmet. It just rocked the ball dome with the suit. I'd have been cool with the suit and not have the headgear. That's what I wasn't feeling.
Yeah.
Not the suit itself, just the headgear. I wasn't down with that.
If they didn't have a helmet on, they would look like Sub-Zero out in these streets. They got the V right there. They got the little shoulder piece to come up, all blue. And I wasn't a fan of the suit. I've seen it in the comic books. It looks way better on those pages. I think they should have turned them black. If they were black, I think that'd have been hard. I didn't like the color. And then the yellow eyes, that was looking weird to me.
Yeah, I wouldn't feel it.
Yeah, it looked like something off a
like bugs.
Sakar.
Kind of, yeah.
It reminded me of the
Predator.
Like the look of the face kind of, I can't remember, Jamar, you might remember
Rocketeer. That's what it
villain.
looked like.
Oh wow. The Batman villains. The owls. The talent in them is with them. The suits that the thing. Oh man.
Nah, I'm with you.
The
I'm
Court
with
of
you.
Owls.
It look dead like that.
Colorful. Yeah, like the face, the rounding face, the eyes. It
Yeah.
look like the Court of Owls from that Batman be feuding with in Gotham. Just
Dead like
what
that.
What they had was more colorful. But
Yeah.
you know what I mean? The owls is just white and black, but the eye shape, the circular of the face reminded me of that.
Yeah. Right. It was almost like a Predator helmet for me, but blue. I just wasn't feeling it.
I wasn't feeling it that much. And they underutilized them. They really only got like Okoye and the Atuma like slightly, their fight, but it wasn't a lot. That's when I think that's one thing that's been distracting that was distracting in the film as far as like the fighting, and the reason why the bridge scene was the best, because all the other fight scenes, it was too much going on.
It was just like a whole bunch of people fighting.
A whole bunch of people fighting. You didn't really get to you didn't get to see anybody focus, just fighting. Even the last fight, it wasn't like
super long.
Visceral. It wasn't long at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was more or less just trying to keep him from getting to the water at the end of the day.
Right.
I mean, it was dope. They had some dope shots in it.
And they kind of cheated to beat Namor, because he would have bodied Black Panther if he if they wouldn't have sucked all the juice out of him.
He gave Shuri the rock bottom from the sky.
He did.
Danny.
That arm. He did. And just boom, took it to the wow. So he just rock bottomed her.
It was such the rock bottom, wasn't it?
Okay. So speaking of him rock bottoming her and then also putting that spear right through her, like
with no blood.
With no, yeah, I was gonna say, like, so she healed because of the suit.
PG-13.
I mean, when she pulled the thing out, you see the suit reform back around the wound
itself, right?
So,
or was it because of the string that she put in the new herb?
I don't know. I just know. It just, far as blood goes, it resealed once she took it out. As far as like healing, bruh.
She was out there like
that
Logan.
Went all the way through. That didn't even make no sense to me.
But that was something I said. That was something I said. There was why
she was Deadpool healing.
Why was they vibranium like so much more rugged than Wakanda's? Like every time they went weapon to weapon, Wakanda's stuff was breaking and stuff like that. Like, did anybody else notice that?
I think more than anything, I think the Talokans are just completely stronger.
Yeah. True. That might be it too.
The average Talokan is still way stronger than everybody in Wakanda except the Black Panther.
Because they are, true. They are pretty much super soldier. Like, I didn't think. I'm like, when
this they all got the juice.
They stuff is just breaking. You know what I mean? Like, we got the same weapons, and like, I need to go back to the manufacturer. You know what I mean? If we got the same stuff, but your stuff working,
still crazy.
I mean, Okoye was the only one that can compete.
Straight up.
She hard. She go hands over anybody.
Hard body. All right, man. We got Iceberg Slim, who just he went. Yeah. Salute, fam. Shout out to ID. You already know.
Recast?
He said movie needed a recast.
Who?
I've heard. Huh?
Who?
All right.
They talking about. We still talking about Chadwick. He wanted T'Challa recast, and I'm about to. Me personally,
this is honest. I'm being honest and serious and sincerely. Who would have risen to the occasion to fill those shoes? Tell me, please tell me. I'm waiting to hear who would it have been.
Me personally, I mean, I think there's actors who could have pulled it off. The problem is we couldn't unsee
Jonathan Majors.
Yeah, we couldn't unsee it.
I mean, that's the thing. He already. What about boy that was in the last two Star Wars?
Right, he can't. Are you talking about John Boyega?
Whatever.
Yeah, John Boyega. Hell of an actor.
Like I said, I think actor-wise,
he's a good actor, but I can't see him. I can't see him rocking T'Challa well though.
I just don't think it's the point. You know what I mean? If we were to go watch a movie now with T'Challa in it, especially this soon, we'd have felt weird about it. We'd have felt weirder with him there than without him there. I know he was missing in the movie. I felt him miss throughout the entire movie. but seeing another face there, just right now, it would have felt weird to me. I couldn't.
You got his son.
I could have
His
done.
son coming. His son.
We will.
So you getting that? You getting his son?
They did Lion King it though. They did Lion King it. So
what you mean?
Meaning they it's another circle of life coming. We got a new. We got young Toussaint. Toussaint
so
gonna hold it down.
So the question is, does that mean that he's going to be in the Young Avengers movie?
It's kind of it depends how they play it on the time spectrum. You know what I mean? Because I don't know how we can't really say how fast time moves in the MCU. I think in real life,
it's already like what 2025 in real life.
T'Challa, he won't be a Black Panther for another 5, 6, 7 years in real life. I think
that.
You know what I mean?
If that.
And I'm not even sure if that kid will be the Black Panther. You know what I mean? It was just the idea of him having a child. I wish that child would grow up.
But the thing is, he's got the purple herb in his blood, though.
Yeah, but it ain't gonna make him age faster.
Well, no, right. You mean baby T'Challa has the herb in his blood?
Toussaint got that. I mean, his pops had it.
Wait. So
it's in his
the
DNA.
Herb is passed down genetically? Because wouldn't that mean that T'Challa, like Big T'Challa, had it since T'Chaka had the herb in his body?
It should still be in your system, because the only time it was when he was it Forrest Whitaker took it out of him on that one time, so it's in there.
Forrest Whitaker.
But I'm saying, does it attach to his swimmers though? Because think about it in the context of Namor. He didn't turn blue like the rest of his people when they drank it.
Well, that's why I think Toussaint. I mean, it's possible Toussaint could be a mutant. I mean, it's possible. Not saying that he will be. I'm just saying, but
I thought his mutation. I thought Namor's mutation was from. Remember, originally they said, "Oh, your baby's sick. You need to drink this because your baby's sick." And I thought that was they were talking about. Oh, he's going to be a mutant. I didn't think that was coming from the herb.
I think he was just special in general.
Yeah. I mean, because like all those mutants have the mutant gene in them, like they're born with it. And I think that juice kind of inflamed that gene. Not T'Challa's not. Nah.
Yeah,
but he's got the herb in his DNA though.
If he did though, if it was passed down, wouldn't Shuri have it too?
That's what I'm thinking.
Because Shuri's she's a child of T'Chaka too. So if it was passed down then she would have it.
I mean, that's right. I mean, you could say that could possibly have something to do with how intelligent she is. You know what I mean? His is probably popping more because he genetically is in him and he took the herb. You know what I mean? So, I mean, that'd be a hell of a performance enhancement.
No idea.
Joint. I don't know.
I mean, but that's one way they can play it though, if they want to.
I mean,
he's gonna get the herb anyway. We know he is.
Oh, he gonna get it.
Yeah, he's gonna get the herb. There's no question. It's just
M'Baku would be respectful.
Yeah, for sure. He's gonna have to earn it. He's still gonna have to go through Warrior Falls and all that stuff.
Sit down here, little one. Let me drop some jewels on.
It's really based on time, though.
Can you pull up Torian's comment about T'Challa and Storm? Because I have a theory now.
I wanted to talk about them too, but go ahead. One thing I wanted is that T'Challa and Storm wedding. Could you imagine how that would have looked on screen? It ain't too late.
Think about it, y'all. Think about it. They said we're not getting the mutants really for a while. So does that mean that baby T'Challa would be the one to marry Storm?
I think so. I think they have to. Let me say have to, because I don't think so. It kind of depends how soon they want Storm to show up.
Because technically Storm is still, unless they consider her like in another.
Or you think she's like Namor, where she's like been alive for like thousands of years and it's just chilling?
I think she's. I don't want to say thousands of years, but I think Storm is walking around somewhere. She may not. She might be in another multiverse, but I think she's walking around somewhere.
When they had her in Apocalypse, she was a teen. You know what I mean? So she was young. You know what I mean? She wasn't an adult, so you know what I mean? But I don't see them casting the same person and sticking to that. But just saying that she wasn't a grown ass adult.
Yeah.
You know, the last time we seen her, even though it wasn't MCU, but
right. I mean, I don't know. They're putting together the seeds to make all this stuff happen. I know Black Panther, at least in the comic books, is crossed over with the Fantastic Four. Obviously, Namor is in there, so it's only right that Storm will be in the mix around that time, and hopefully, it kind of lines up correctly because I want to have an actual family at the head of Wakanda at some point.
Yeah.
We have to have an actual, a traditional family, king, queen, the elders still, and then your offspring. I don't need everybody to die all the time, and now we only have one person in the royal
and I
family.
guess like Storm is supposed to be what she's a princess of another tribe. So
were they like witch doctors or something?
Yeah,
something like that. So I think they have it. They got a plan. I just hope that's part of it. At the end of the day,
Storm
there's plenty of
there's
plenty of actors who will be perfect for the role. I was listening to a podcast the other day. It didn't have necessarily everything to do about Black Panther, but it was talking about how many Black actors Marvel has snatched up. Can you think about the roster of Black actors that are in Marvel or have been? Every single one.
Cheeto, Sam L, Majors.
Every single one.
Chadwick.
We don't have many left as far as just known
Jordan.
Every single one of
John David Washington, but I don't think he'll ever do it. But John David Washington is one.
Forrest Whitaker.
Yep, Forrest Whitaker.
Corey Hawkins.
Shout out to Takeoff.
Yahya Abdul-Mateen II. We could utilize him.
Yeah. Oh, he's supposed to be Wonder Man. They got him snatched up for Wonder Man's role.
Oh yeah. You're right. You're right. Who else? Okay.
They got everybody. I'm not an avid movie watcher, so I don't know a lot of the actors out there, but everyone that's in the Marvel universe.
Everybody getting that check.
Bruh. All we need to bring Alden over too. Aldis Hawkman from DC universe. He need to go ahead and come over. That's who me and you were talking about being Blue Marvel. Yeah. That's who we think should be Blue Marvel.
His chest all out. His superhero ass. Not on my watch, pal.
I don't have a whole bunch more to say about this movie. I am going to see it again, probably next weekend in 3D. Bruce, I'm gonna holler at you about that. It's such a long movie. It's so dense. There's so many points to be made. But when I first came out the movie, I was relieved that it was over, kind of. I was like, man, it was so much that happened. My nerves was bad. Second time watching it, I finally actually saw the movie. Like, okay, yeah, it was good. And
he did tell me that on the text.
I did.
When you can go dolo without the family, that's the thing too.
Your hands were shaking.
I didn't say my hands were shaking. I would say I was shaking
or something.
Nah, I was nervous. I didn't say I was shaking, but I was just nervous going into it. It's one of those movies, the impact that the first movie made. We knew the legacy had to live up to. It was almost impossible, and we couldn't. In all intents and purposes, I'm gonna keep it 100. I think this movie could have been better than the first one, or is better than the first one. But the problem is the feeling. The first one was all about pride. It was us. It was all of us. It was Black pride. It was a celebration. It was a happy ending. All that stuff. We went into this one knowing it was a straight up tissue. It's gonna be here. It's a funeral. It's all that stuff. It's like grief. We had good seasoning on a perfect piece of chicken on the first movie. The second movie, we had the perfect seasoning on a slightly bad piece of chicken. You know what I mean? It tastes good, but I should say steak, because steaks vary in cuts. Like we had the best cut of meat with an okay seasoning on the first one, best seasoning for the second one, but we didn't have the perfect piece of meat. That's
I agree with that. I mean,
extra A1.
It did need some more A1 on it.
It definitely felt like a rewrite, but they did the best that they could. Absolutely. And they took what they took what they had, and it's like they squeezed the juice out the lemon. You know what I'm saying?
They
For
really
like the
did.
actors. So, to me, the actors made it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? The Angela
like,
Bassett's, the Latitas, like
oh yeah,
they
definitely her.
made the movie. You know,
Right.
Them scenes with Angela Bassett, like I sent a text like,
Yeah,
yo, she might be
Angela's.
GOAT. Like it was, man, like she
Yeah.
never strikes out. Period. Not even
nah,
with this. Just she never
'cause
strikes out. Like
she killed
she
that
can line
Tina
up.
role. I felt
She'll
this was
line
like
up
the
in
Tina.
she line up in front of anybody and hold her own, whether it's Pacino,
Facts.
De Niro, Denzel, whoever, you know what I mean,
Yeah,
and
it don't
either
matter.
hold her own, if not
She's our
outshine.
Meryl.
Yeah. To answer your question, Torian, I didn't cry at all in any of the
I
scenes,
didn't cry.
but they were all, you know what I mean? It's just somber. It's not
I
about
like how they
necessarily
did it.
shedding the tears. It was a somber mood. When you're in the theater, did anybody say a drop when the Marvel logo showed up with all the Chadwick?
Nope.
It was
Yeah.
complete
Mm-mm.
silence. It
Silence.
was nobody said nothing. Period. That's how the
Silence. 'Cause
movie
it
made
just
me feel.
hit.
Period.
You
It was
know?
like, dang,
Mhm.
man. It's like we already knew, but it still was a reminder. Like he really ain't here no more. That's what the
Yeah.
movie
So
did.
I thought they
one
did it
thing,
perfectly.
one
no
thing I
problem.
thought they would do. Remember when Shuri sees Queen Ramonda in the plane? I thought they were gonna like use some old footage and have that be Chad there, but then I was like,
I'm
you know
glad
what?
they
It's
didn't.
probably out of respect
Nah,
for the family.
I'm glad they
If they
didn't.
would have done that, I would definitely start crying then. I
That'd
would
have
have
been
Yeah.
cried, you know.
that'd have been a
But
lot.
I'm glad they didn't do that.
but
But I definitely knew Killmonger was gonna be in it. Like I just
woo,
I didn't
okay,
know he was
real
gonna
quick,
be like
I
that,
didn't
but
know. I
real
didn't
quick
know.
though,
I'm
yeah,
not gonna
real
lie.
I figured
quick.
he was something.
yeah, man. I knew
Was
he was
it
gonna be
just
in it, man.
me? Was it just me? Or did that man look devastated in this movie? I was like the Lori Harvey breakup must have happened while they were filming this because he just looked, his eyes looked dead, and I was like,
I didn't get that.
mercy.
I didn't get that.
Because
I didn't get that one.
he like
All I saw he wasn't as swole as he was, but you know what I mean. He's an astro plane. I mean, he
looked
dead.
Right.
tired to
If his
me.
eyes look dead, he dead. You know what I mean?
I mean, he is dead. I mean, like, yes, the character was dead, but like in the first one, he had so much more life and fire to his anger, and this one felt so much more subdued, which worked, and I liked
I
it.
mean, he was
But
chilling. He was
also,
on the throne. He's where he
that's
wanted to
Man was
be.
true.
going.
Like he's in
Man
the
was going through.
afterlife, but I don't know. It felt more like Michael B. Jordan rather than Killmonger, and I was like, Lord, what did that girl do to
Well,
this man? Like,
When they turned
because
that corner, he was
his
sitting there.
purpose was to be on the throne, right? Wasn't it like his mission to be on the throne?
Yep.
He was there. I felt like he was
yeah.
at peace with whatever
When they
he was
turned that,
doing.
But if he
when
was
they
at
turned that
peace, why was
corner,
he still
like,
talking about
yo,
being angry and the thing set on fire?
Well, I
That
mean,
don't
he's an
sound
angry,
like peace to me.
he's an angry man, though. I mean, I don't think
that's just him.
I don't
Set
think
his
somebody
goals.
who's angry is ever gonna find peace. What I mean is peace is he had his leg up on the
Yeah,
throne.
he was up there like, yo. When they turned that
Yeah.
corner and showed him, I was like, yo. Like, he said, you
I said that
you
on
wanted to
the
see me here. Like,
I said that
Yeah.
on the prediction show. I mean, I knew Killmonger was gonna pull up.
out of
It was
every
setting
team
up
to
for
see, she saw Killmonger
It was
first.
dope.
Like, yeah,
It
that
was
was
dope.
like,
setting
yo,
up for it. Especially
I didn't think he
that's
was gonna
why I
pop
was
up like
saying
that. I thought
the
it was
trailers
something, but
the trailers revealed too much, man. Like when you had the fire, when she like took the herb and she, you know what I'm saying, she woke up in that plane, that ancestral plane, and she had the fire surrounding her. That's the whole scene that when Killmonger set the herbs ablaze.
yeah.
They revealed too much in the trailers, man. Like so a lot of it just wasn't a surprise, really. The only thing that was a surprise for me was seeing Tyler Khan. I mean, that's it.
That and
Really.
Ramonda dying. That was
Was that
Ramonda
too?
dying
That too.
hit
Ramonda dying. I
me.
didn't see
I was
that.
like,
Yeah,
That's too. Nah, I
I
definitely
mean,
didn't see that.
I was shocked to see the son. I don't know. I was a little shocked about that.
But
I knew that was
even
going to happen somehow.
even that was like it just
But it wasn't
seemed
no
like
big shock. It was just like, oh,
yeah.
that's cute.
It was a shock, but I noticed it before. Like when she walked in the frame and had the boy with her, I was like,
Right.
I already
there
know
he
what this
is.
is. Yeah, but before that, I didn't think nothing of it. I wasn't even thinking about his son showing up.
Yeah, it just
But
to me it's like they were setting that up because we already knew that he had a son anyway. Like just from being like you know, just from understanding the comics, we knew he had a boy anyway.
Shoot,
So
I didn't know it.
Probably why you was talking about she had so much cakes and saying she was thicker. Hell, she just gave birth not that long
ago. Y'all crazy. Oh,
stop
it. But
Bruce said that's why she's thick. She got them hips because she was.
He ain't lying though.
Birthing babies
like that sometime.
I ain't mad at I was gonna say. Y'all need to watch Eric Voss's breakdown of this movie. He has something interesting to say about.
I do need to watch it. I need to peep at Voss, see what he had to say.
The Killmonger part, he has something interesting to say. It was kind of crazy. When you talk about he looks sad, he said he thinks he's in the astral plane. He's the ruler, but he's the ruler of one. Like he takes the throne, but he rules nobody out there. So he's kind of like. You know what I mean?
He's in that room alone.
He's in that room by himself. Nobody with him.
His thoughts.
Yeah,
dealing with his own
but that makes sense because the other Black Panthers wasn't on that.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So all the Panthers is in that same realm where that makes sense. I'm going to check it out. Definitely check it out.
But we'll see. Man, I don't have much more, really anything else to talk about on this movie. It's so much. I can't wait to watch it again. Maybe we'll revisit another show next weekend. You got something?
I just was hoping for the third credit scene that I was lied to about. But
no.
Hey, I was well.
You was definitely lied to, my G.
But it would kind of, as much as we wanted it, it would have kind of felt weird, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
In a movie like this.
I'm trying to think how they would have played it, though. I mean, it probably been like a scene with like Val. Like meeting up with somebody, meeting up with a Thunderbolt. That's
somebody from Wakanda. It would have to be somebody from
Wakanda. Or, I mean, they could have
Insider. Okoye's husband. Val meeting up with Okoye.
I was about to say, Janet Okoye showed up.
I mean,
and she recruited
towards Kane would have been dope. I mean, any of that, you know what I mean? Like,
because he was already sneaky anyway. So
post-credit scenes is letdowns, man. Like, to me, besides what the Shang-Chi post-credit scene was decent. The rest of them is like, I mean, it was, showing the kid. I don't want to be like I'm anti-kid, but it was like my guy, you know what I mean? My guy was like, Bruce, I think we was just spoiled so much. And like, whether or not it's spoiled, but you put our expectations at a certain level and your past movies connected. Still, this is the best movie of this phase, and it still really didn't connect to anything. One of your top Avengers died. No Avengers popped up. You didn't get no letters. They didn't pop up on the news to have anybody like, hey, we can't be in Wakanda, but our prayers is with you. None of that. You know what I mean? And in the post-credit scene, it still connected to nothing but the letter, the word saying Black Panther will return. Well, where does he fit? Where does anything fit right now? You know what I mean? It just.
You gotta wait and see. Probably Secret Wars. We're probably gonna see them pop up again in Secret Wars.
I mean, I think with different ways they can go with it.
Yeah, especially people saying like, "Oh, don't worry, like we're just sitting in we're like hanging back in the cut, and then our time will come to rule everybody." Yeah, I feel like it's gonna be Secret Wars, and especially now, I don't know if they're actually on anybody's radar, but.
They can't tell us
Secret Wars or Armor Wars.
I just want to know if he's getting his little foot wing back or not.
It grows back.
That was something I
said. Does it grow back?
Like,
you got the Kid Icarus foot wing.
I think they can't tell us the plan yet.
Yeah.
It involves things that they can't even speak on yet. That's why. They don't have it all, the dots connected in a fashion where we can actually see it.
They still could give us something, man. Man,
I know we spoiled. I understand. We've been getting two post credits for 10 years straight.
I like my sauteed onions and mushrooms on my joint. You know what I mean? Like, boy, I mean, because that's I mean that's what made these movies was good villains. You know what I mean? And this movie was still good to me. I didn't really take Namor as a villain. There wasn't no real villain in this. You know what I mean? He had a cause and they had a cause. That was it. You know what I mean?
Man, he wrecked shop in Wakanda. he was villain. He was villain enough.
He still wasn't a bad guy to me. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? If you and your neighbor don't get along, that don't automatically mean you a bad guy. You know what I mean?
I mean, I feel you. I mean, to me, he's more like in that Killmonger lane than anything.
He's a new Killmonger. That's all he was for the most part.
I mean, he was
he was justified.
His character was hard. His character.
We're gonna be
real
saying
dope.
Namor is right in a couple of years.
Yeah, that's one.
Yeah,
that's
the
what
problem.
I heard was said. Like one of the writers or directors said actually he was the hero in this, just like they said about Killmonger 4 or 5 years ago, whatever that was at the movie it came out. I thought they was actually going to somehow make it where he and Shuri is going to connect, because when he was showing her around, like
straight up, they was straight up flirting. I was
like, yo, they about to.
I was waiting on them to cut.
That's what it was going to be.
It's supposed to be PG-13. I was waiting on them to cut.
Bracelet. I was like, yo, I've been dead for how long? And you gonna hand over her bracelet to this girl you just met? I was like, okay.
Y'all were acting like this was y'all act like it was Wycliffe and Lauren on the joint.
Let me show you my son, my hood.
They're gonna create a new MC character between them two, and he's a new character that Shuri is gonna push out.
Let me adorn you in garments and jewelry.
He's seen himself in Shuri though. He's seen she was upset.
Put the suit on.
Listen,
like we're gonna get a Black Panther that has Namor bloodline. That's what I was thinking. Like, yo, this.
He said, "Okay, I can make you gangsta boo, shorty."
I mean, that show he don't think like me, because I would have tried to pull it all together.
You was.
I need to stop radio. I need to try there. I need to try what's happening. Slide the number.
Stop.
He's a gracious host, man.
You a king. Yeah. I mean, it was nothing but love.
Gracious host.
It was nothing but love. I mean,
he was really just showing her.
Gave her the seashell horn and everything. He really was.
It was all close to her in her ear. Hey, I heard you whisper that you wanted to burn the spot down. I listen, girl. I don't use that. I don't use that before. You know what I mean? Like, I heard you over there. You thought I forgot.
Crazy. Oh. No, it was a little flirtatious in the delivery, but Namor is just like, yo, man, I ain't taking no chances with the world. Are you on my side or not? If you're not, I'm coming at you too.
Yeah, and it was just, I'm killing everybody. I'm gonna kill everybody. In those words.
And that's why he's the villain. And that's why he's the villain. Not because of his reasoning, but for what he was willing to do. He was ready to burn down everything. Even the innocent folk. That's it. I know you like the look, Taylor. The man was gonna kill everybody, even the children.
Come on, when he was like up in her face and he was just all angry, I was like, "This is doing it for me right now." He's just so angry.
Oh man, you gonna be looking at me like your ears ain't pointing enough. Like, your ears don't point up enough for me no more.
I like them. Them pinners caught everything. He could hear anything. I was like, all right.
He was in Shuri's ear. Like, I swear he was gonna be like, your body all over my body.
I was thinking he was gonna be like,
yo, wow.
My mind's telling me no.
Yeah, wow.
All right, y'all. Well, I think that's it for tonight. I think we're going crazy off the rails with it. I think we should do another show maybe next week, at least on this topic. We'll see what else falls out for the week after I watch it one more again.
What we got coming? Anything? Any new shows? What we
got?
Not really. Quantumania.
No, we have
February.
I guess we have the Guardian special that probably come out in the next month or so.
Yeah, in December.
And then yep, you're right. Secret Invasion and Quantum Mania. Those are our next things. So we'll probably have to do some like fantasy shows, top 5s and top 10s and things like that.
I got an idea too, though. I got an idea I'm gonna mention after this.
All right.
Yeah.
Word up. Well, once again, I appreciate everybody who tuned in. Torian, Iceberg, C. John in the building, all in the game. Appreciate y'all for hopping in on the chat and keeping the show going. Let us know in the comments. Did you like Black Panther Wakanda Forever? Did it hit you all up in here? Did it fall short for you? Let us know exactly what you thought.
Right, or if you thought it was trash.
Yeah, whatever you think, let us know. I loved it. It wasn't perfect, but I still loved it, and we'll watch it many more times in my lifetime. Appreciate it. All right. M'Baku's chest plate. Appreciate you being here. Not So Dark Night. Appreciate you being here. The 8th day of the week, aka Taylor Day in the building.
8th day of the week.
Absolutely. You know what
Salutes.
I mean? We appreciate it. Look at it. I can't wait to see somebody do that in the streets. I cannot wait. Hadouken! Hadouken!
That's shark mouth.
Wait, real quick.
I see you, Ryu.
Another thing. So remember the scene where he like sits on the throne and he's giving a speech and like his voice and his mouth.
Fire.
That was so fire.
They changed they put like a filter on it.
Mm-hmm. It was just a lot. And I was like, look at all that power.
That was fire. That was super fire. That was a detail I wasn't even expecting. You know, people talk underwater. That was different. Appreciate that though. I'm glad you brought that up. You're a little too late for it, but I wish you'd have brought it up.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was too mesmerized by my man.
You crazy. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all being on.
Peace.
Until next time. Yes, indeed. We are Simply Marvelous, where you get your Marvel news and all the other shenanigans that we provide for you.
Shenanigans.
You know, shenanigans, you already know.
Shenanigans.
Hit that like button, subscribe, please, and leave a comment below. On what you
and that notification bell, too. You know, please hit the notification bell.
All right, y'all. 100. I'll holler.
Peace. Shalom.
Peace.